Fnatic when it comes to the draft, right? We're okay with like so many different carries. We're okay with Sven. I think it's a good hero, but if they want to draft towards the Spectre, that's fine. Comfort zone, that works, right? But Wings, I like need a really specific pick that changes my whole entire mind. I'm like, whoa, that deals with Death Prophet really well. That we'll be able to stop the Beastmaster Enchantress pressure early on. It'll be able to put pressure and keep Sven from farming up with his Helma Dominator. There's so many factors here that Wings have to account for, and I honestly struggle to see what, because unless it's I think a mid-tempo controller that just goes ham. But
I like that. What is that hero? Right, exactly. I mean, it doesn't seem like Wings really has that answer either, right? And it is going to be Spectre.
Lancer.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, this is a situation you guys kind of mentioned, and none of you guys seem to mention it in favor for Wings, but it is going to be the last decision. So then the bottom line is, I mean, Fnatic once again seems to look pretty strong going into the game from the draft.
Yeah, it looks really good to me. You could even see their deliberation. Net was poking his head out, talking with the captain. Then it looked like at the end he turned his head and he said, "Okay," gave a thumbs up. He's like, "I can do this, man."
All right.
So I think they can do it.
All right. Well, this is the draft, maybe to win it, to go to the finals for Fnatic. Meanwhile, Wings trying to fight back for their life. They did it yesterday against Complexity, trying to keep the dream alive and make it to the final day at ESL One Manila. Can they bring that back again, or will it be Fnatic winning 2-0? Let's find out as we load into game number 2 with our commentators.
Remaining.
Indeed, thank you very much, Joe. But we're ready to see some more action here between the sides of Fnatic and Wings. And game 2, a little bit of a switch around. The final pick there this time for Wings. They're going to get the Spectre. Jacob, your reaction was what? Was it a good what or a bad what?
I was very puzzled by that last pick. I feel like they've gone a bit overboard with the melee agility lineup, but let's see how they put it to use. I mean, their lanes are pretty obvious at this point, but as the analyst was saying, I think a puck would have benefited them a lot more. They need some crowd control and everything. They're going to rely heavily on just executing ganks throughout this game and really have the bounty hunter come off to a great start and getting a lot of kills off of that.
I mean, would you agree, Ben? What was your thoughts on the draft?
I think they wanted more multiple late game threats. That's just typically, I think their style, just have a really good 1 and a really good 2 that scales in the late game. But at the same time, I mean, you're dealing with Sven and DP and most likely an Enchantress that is going to scale pretty well too. Do you think they should have banned Enchantress?
Not necessarily. I just think that I'm not a fan of these lineups that aren't very well rounded right now. Their burst and their team fight,
track gold,
and even crowd control, it's not very good in comparison to the side of Fnatic, who has everything, right? They have tons of lockdown, great 5-on-5, early game push. It's gonna be very hard for Wings to even withstand this.
Yeah, but what do you think?
Towers up.
What do you think they think their lineup's good at? Like, why do you think they drafted this?
Ganking, definitely. The bounty hunter just running around, setting everything up, and then with the Doomlator on, they need to take down these single targets immediately in these fights.
Oh, he's gonna walk into a sentry ward.
Yeah, just giving a bit of some here. Forcing mid one back. I mean, in terms of the lanes, you was talking about the fact that Fnatic, they're going to have that kind of really strong mid-game team fight potential. Wings, in mid-game, they're going to be looking for the ganks. As this starts out, do you expect anyone to have an easier time at the beginning of this match?
Oh, Ohio pressuring Ice already. That's a
oh, yeah,
lot
with
of
the
damage.
force though as well.
Yeah, he had it really well positioned. He was on the far left, the board was on the far right, and one cast can own his creep, but not with that positioning.
And this mid lane matchup. So PL, one of those heroes that we see being picked up a lot of the times, obviously against the Invoker due to his strengths. I mean, are there still similar strengths in a kind of a PL versus DP matchup?
They talked about it earlier. It's mostly like you can't really run in on the Death Prophet because the Siphon will destroy you, and it follows Doppelganger, which is like that spell just goes through so many things. It goes through Invulnerability, goes through BKB, goes through Doppelganger, like Phase Shift, like all these spells that you typically feel very safe as a mid laner. So the merits of PL are limited in this matchup.
Yeah, I think the only thing he really can do is just get the levels, farm up, get a bottle, and trade evenly with as much as he can with her. But she's not going to be in any position where she's going to go back or fear dying, especially because she goes a bottle herself as well. That's typically one of the problems with the Invoker. that he's susceptible to just keep on getting spammed down by these Phantom Lances, whereas the Death Prophet sort of deals with that through, obviously, Siphon if they go on her, and then just bottle charges.
Looking at the side lanes as well, this top lane, this off lane doing against Sven. Getting pretty much even CS at the moment between the two of them. And bottom lane, Bounty, just coming around. They've already got that nice ward, their wings just to the side of this, so a lot of control.
Looks like DJ's ready to make his first move. He has a double Satyr combo.
I mean, if you are DJ, which lane are you looking to? Is it going to be, I guess, the top lane catching out the Doom? That's going to be a lot easier than trying to go for, the PL at this point?
It depends. He doesn't actually have Doppelganger skilled, but I don't think there's any way that you can know that as the Enchantress. But maybe you can poke and prod. And looks like he probably wants to wait for level 4 for double Siphon.
He's got the Purge Creep as well there. DJ setting it up. Scorched Earth will come out. There's your second Purge. He's doing it. DJ with the Crypt as well. They should be able to find the body blocks. DJ in with the body block. He's done it. DJ there with the body blocking, the purging, the double damage. Fantastic play from the Ancient, as you mentioned earlier. Should they have found this hero? It looks pretty strong for Fnatic.
Oftentimes, though, you want your Devour to be up if you expect an Enchantress gank, but at the same time, like, you need to use that spell to gain some control of the lane. So he didn't actually have it up to eat the creep, which is why I think there's like a little bit of overlap between the Doom and the Bounty Hunter. I think you actually want the Doom to fall around the Enchantress, so you can just eat her creeps and kind of always scout out her positioning. But now she's just creating havoc on all sides of the map. DJ maybe looking to get a double Centaur creep and wrap around with his Satyr Banisher.
And it's a bit of a problem for Wings right now. They can't really execute any ganks with this Bounty Hunter, which is really the hero that needs to open up the map for them. On the top lane, it's a Sven. He's really, really hard to kill with the heroes they have, and because of Warcry, just all the HP through him being a strength hero, and then with all the additional armor, there's not enough damage output. There's no spam.
Oh, we can see here with the reveal of the Bounty trying to go in on the line. Nice two-man stun, and now with the Sven coming in, a two-man stun to follow through. Moving in with the right click, can they do the try to dive on the line, but he's already got the Warcry armor. He's going to tune this one out. He's free for Brandon. DJ turning up, they will lose the line, but DJ turning up to make sure that the punishment is paid. DJ turning up, turning that kill right around into 2 for the side of Fnatic.
3-4-3 just buying so much time through juking around in the tree line.
Really, really nice plays from the Ancient again. We saw DJ game 1 having such a start, and game 2 looks to be just as strong at this point.
And as you mentioned, like, the Bounty Hunter is just having so much trouble getting kills. They have a Sentry Ward on top, Sentry Ward in mid, and then Ohio's not even anywhere close to the bottom lane. He's just safely jungling with the Iron Talon.
And on top of that...
Oh, top lane, Doom gets stunned up.
Fnatic trying to see if they can get a little bit more. Scorched Earth regen out. And just a little bit too tanky at this point, and he's also got that Satyr, but mid lane Wings trying for some action themselves, looking towards mid 1. He'll drop the sentry, get the Siphon off, and that's enough to stop it.
Exactly. That's the problem with ganking these lanes. Warcry on the Sven, Spirit Siphon on the DP with 2 melee heroes ganking her. Sort of a dream scenario for her.
Well, things will fall into place when Spectre hits 6, because, like, Bounty Hunter can scout out the heroes that are jungling, but no one can really rotate there easily without just completely giving it away, because Doom leaving his lane or, the PL leaving his lane to go to opponent's jungle is a very obvious maneuver, especially with that Observer Ward. But when Spectre hits 6, maybe they can get an easy kill on the Beastmaster.
Yeah, and one of the downsides of Sven is that he needs to scale, right?
Lane.
Oh yeah, and there's the horn straight in, looking for the kill on mid, and they'll get it. See if they can get any more. Oh no, Spectre back out, but...
They have to be really careful at that timing, though. They did it as soon as he hit level 6.
Top lane, Doom. Just forcing back the Sven here, hasn't quite got the damage. He does have a blast. He manages to bring that down a little bit lower. He's putting a lot of heavy pressure out. There is, of course, DJ around the corner. We'll see if he comes in for the plays. DJ is going to start to look for this one. Let's see if they can get any more help. Doom around the corner. He does have a bounty. A turnaround munch down on one of them. DJ continuing to chase bounty. He had to reveal himself. Now, I mean, this is a hard kill for DJ to get this Doom incredibly tanky. And now with the regen. And 3-4-3 trying to come in to get the Doom. But okay, Bounty reveals himself and Fnatic. They'll just take the easy kill. They'll take the easier kill. Now maybe not check it to see if the dust was out on DJ, because he pops it straight away. They're going to try and go for the Doom here with a sniper now with the enchant slow. Here comes Fred on the ground. In front of way, Wolf comes up to net. Now be careful of PL coming with the rotation, punishes one. Siphon onto the Doom, they will get the kill in return. And now Blink trying to find step from him. Well, DJ can he save him? One over step from him. Turns around, gets the swarm out, double game forward, but now he's got a back. Blink, he's got a run. He's got a run. DJ chasing it down. Blink trying to follow him. He's going to get one more jump down. DJ on the edge. You get caught it up on the goal. Blind for DJ. Oh, that's good up. Comes back in, does take him down. But
5 other targets, bad luck, DJ, so well played.
My goodness, and I mean, Wings needed that because that fight, you know, we saw the PL turn up for it, just get some action, but immediately Fnatic just shut him back down.
At the same time, DJ really knows no fear. There's nothing that he really needs to be scared of at this point. Maybe a Doom or a Death Ward, but Death Ward still not coming out for some time and only really dying to his only early game counter, the tower, at the end of the day. But he was just running at the Doom. It's like, even the Bounty Hunter's here, I don't even care. We'll just kill him instead.
Well, Witch Doctor has skilled Maledict, and it's a level 1 Nature's Attendant, so there is some threat in taking a lot of damage from, for instance, the Spirit Lance, Shuriken Toss.
Now it's going to be Wings, smoking up. See which lane they're going to head their attention towards. Actually the mid, but 3-4-3 and DJ actually smoking up themselves here, so they could actually catch Wings out if Wings try and commit for this one. We'll see if they try to move in. Fnatic come around. They're the Hawks trying to get the vision straight out. Wings, they're trying to on mid one, they'll drop the Doom as well, trying to bring mid one down, and they should be able to find Akim at the same time. Coming through, they'll take down the Witch Doctor return. Now 3-4-3 on the retreat, and this time it's Wings chasing down Fnatic. Can they get DJ as well? He's got the Nature's Attendants to heal. Would it be too much? And out of mana though, DJ's not going to be able to deal the damage out, but he does manage to keep himself alive. But nonetheless, again, nice usage of the Haunt there from Wings. They set up a gank, they get the Spectre in, and they come out on top.
Yeah, good rotations coming out from Wings as well. I love them realizing and recognizing that they need to put on this all-out aggression. Whenever they have the ultimates up, specifically Doom and Haunt, this is when they need to find at least 1 kill and preferably 2 or 3, right?
I can see that. It's going to take a bit of pop damage here from the Maledict, as he did tank a bit of the tower in the cast. Gets himself back to safety.
Middle tower is under attack.
6-3 at the moment.
Fnatic not doing a good job of playing around the Haunt cooldown though. Every time the Haunt's up, Wings are just going all out on him in the mid lane, and even that time Doom was up. So at the same time though, they need some involvement from Ohio. He's been really quiet. He is level 6 now, 9 minutes into the game. A pretty decent timing from him, but Fnatic have been playing 45 for the majority of this early game. And looking to make use of the Roar immediately. Spectre Haunt down for 50 more seconds, but no mana looks like he might head home, but will he run into this train?
Making a smart beeline just straight down the lane. He is going to cut up a stair, but
Read by Shadow.
Planet said, we'll see if the side of Fnatic can still catch out Wings maybe in the mid lane. Net, he's been gone on at the moment by the Bounty and the PL. At the same time, Fnatic starting to come around from behind. Let's see if they can make a jump just to the sidelines. The smoke now dispelled. So it's going to be Wings getting the dagger out now. We'll see them actually try and chase down the Lion, who's going to hold back the Spectre for the time being. There's the Sentinel Stomp as well to buy time for Fnatic to escape. They're still trying to chase, but still, Lion trying to kite them back, but Lion, he's been caught out by the Lance here. Lion, I don't think he gets himself out of this one. A 3-4-3 will be punished. Wings there with the chase down, they'll get one.
I actually think Ohio should have been there for the fight. I think they have like pretty good positioning. They had like they have vision on the top side and the bottom side. They also have like the high ground positioning too. Like if they walk up, they have to walk in a Spirit Siphon plus Exorcism and plus a Roar, which slows all the targets that are around them. So I think they could have easily picked off a couple of heroes had they been in position.
Alright, Shadow's going to haunt onto DJ here, but it's going to be a hard kill. At the same time, they did manage to find that kill onto the Sven.
Take down the bottom tower, so that's something for Fnatic, but right now they've given up way too much space for Wings. They should have been much more vigilant about having these Haunt and Doom ganks coming through, and Bounty Hunter wasn't even 6 until now.
Yeah, I think like that's the biggest mistake of the past couple of minutes is giving Bounty Hunter level 6 track is just going to open up so many more possibilities for Wings in the next couple of minutes.
I think they feel confident, especially after the last game, that when Ohio gets that Necromicon, they can just 5-man and push the issue. because Wings have very little to defend with. It is still a Phantom Lancer and a Spectre that requires a good amount of farm before they actually do much.
They have a nice frontliner though in the Doom.
Yeah, well, we see at the moment the Doom still in the lane at top with net, but on his items, he's got that helm on the tread, so he will continue to farm. He's top of the CS at the moment. In lane, TJ just holding back this push that was potentially going to be coming in from the PL. At the moment, things seeming to have calmed down now. I mean, is there a pressure on one of these sides to be more active at this point of the game, or are both of them kind of comfortable just letting this stage of the game sit out and play passively?
I still think Fnatic, because Sven's actually underfarmed. He's number 4 in net worth, and he did not have that difficult a lane because he had Enchantress, you know, babysitting him top a lot of the time. But he's only had 1 Ancient stack right now, and looks like he might not even get this one.
Yeah, Ice leading in. Net pops the wall cry, starts to retreat. Be able to get himself far enough away, so they can't lead in on that one. Top lane though, eyes onto the line, and he's going to go for the TP out. He should be able to make it, yes.
Yeah, Fnatic has actually lost control on their top side of the map, strictly through the ward vision. They've done a great job on securing the farm on bottom lane for Ohio, but on the top side of things, they have no map control. There's nothing showing whether they TP in on the tier 1 tower, or even if they move in the top river. All of Fnatic's presence right now is on the bottom side of the map.
Oh, DJ pops it up, but it didn't quite catch the bounty. And there'll be a roar out to the fake, but the horn comes through, and that's Wings. Look at the one, they'll find a higher. Can they try and chase for a second? Doesn't let it catch out DJ. But again, nice reaction from Wings, and using this horn. I mean, this Spectre finding kills every single time with the ultimate.
Yeah, I think a lot of the reason why they lost the top lane control is because Death Prophet died a couple of times in the mid lane, and they wanted to be there like before the Doom hits, before the Spectre can get on top of her. And because they've sacrificed so many heroes to commit to the mid lane, this top lane is just a lot more free for Wings.
But this is also one of the problems with Sven in comparison to the Spectre, right? He's one of those carries that can't really participate all that much in the earlier stages of the game, just because you're heavily reliant on him getting farm as well. He doesn't do much, he doesn't offer much outside of that Stormbolt, and with the current builds on him, it's a level 1 Stormhammer, so that's a bit of problematic for how Fnatic needs to execute this strategy, because I'm not even sure they have the better late game. It depends on how well they pass through the mid game, especially going up against Track. Yeah, they still don't have Book up on Ohio. He's been given a lot of space compared to how little farm he has.
I'll try and get a bit more go in their pocket here with the push onto mid. Watch holding it for the time being though, Wings, and see if Fnatic can stick around to take this one. Side of Wings, they're bringing 4 heroes in. They are ready to fight if Fnatic want to try and give it some. Ice with the Death Ward available.
Yeah, 2 heroes already tracked up. This could be, like, if they do mid one before he gets his ulti off, this just could be a terrible, terrible fight for them. But this mid tower is only 187 HP. They really want that down.
And the real strength we've seen Fnatic exhibit throughout the tournament has been them putting on the aggression. Right now they're playing reactionary, and they're doing a poor job at that. I think they've given over 5 kills without getting one in return so far. And their lineup really comes together as 5, right? They need to set up kills with Beastmaster, control through the disables they have, and let the Death Prophet take down towers. And they're not doing that. They're just playing reactionary. For the past 5-6 minutes, they've just been letting Wings walk all over them and do whatever they want around the map. And Wings have the better late game.
No one's scared of Roar at this point. I don't feel like anyone on Wings is like, oh man, there's a Beastmaster that could roar me at any moment with, you know, some Enchantress.
Oh, Shadow. People are actually popping the dust there. That's going to be the Shadow. Jumps away from this. Can't get into another as he catches out mid-bod. DJ getting forced back as well by the Death Ward. Fnatic just not quick enough there to get that lockdown onto Spectre. 3-4-3 will escape. But it's another fight. The horns popped and another kill taken for the side. And it's a big one, just continuously getting those kills onto the Death Prophet at this portion of the game.
And actually a slight misplay by 343 on the Lion. The hesitation caused that not only didn't they get the kill on Spectre, but he also went in on the middle lane and got the kill on Death Prophet instead. Again, Fnatic, at least this time they showed some aggression, but it just ended up them again reacting to what Wings was doing. And now Wings got another kill on the Death Prophet.
But now they have Exorcism.
Yeah, and now he's going to come in and join the fight this time. Getting the stuff now onto the bounty, until one pushing Nothing gets themselves to the point and it pops. They'll find one. The question is, can they find themselves anything more here? And it looks like, not for the time being, as Wings very nicely disengaged. So it's just the bounty down. Fnatic at least, they should be able to find this push, get the tier 1.
I think it might be a good time to go into Roche with the Ghost after this, though. I don't know if they want to do that or push with a T2,
no
but...
one still for quite a while.
Hook one on Ohio finally as well.
I'd like to see them take more objectives, though, with the Ghost. I think if they wait for top, it might be a little bit too long. Shadow's going to have his ulti up in about 40 seconds.
DJ created so much space on the top and the middle side of the map that we didn't really follow what happened on the bottom lane, but I
know what happened.
I'm puzzled by
Iron Talon jungling.
Was that all he did? Because Witch Doctor actually rotated, so I questioned the decision to be in the jungle rather than just contest the Spectre on the lane and getting as much farm as you can out of standing there, because we're 16 minutes in. A book 1 is something you would typically have when you have a really, really hard lane. And he by no means were up against much competition on the bottom lane, strictly because of how much space DJ created in the other 2 lanes.
He was scared of the bounty hunter, so he had to play like a lot more safe in the jungle than you would normally.
Yeah.
And then the Spectre had level 6 very, very early on. So,
but even then, they rotated down. They pushed down the tier 1 tower, which was the of the objectives that Fnatic has executed so far, probably the only good one. They are gonna take the top tower now, so they're slowly regaining control again, trying to even out the net worth through taking down the towers. And this is exactly what they need to do: gather up, go around us 5, knowing that Wings have a really hard time dealing with straight up 5-on-5 engagements.
I agree with you. I think the Beastmaster has just not really been a factor at all, and didn't contest the Spectre in the early game, didn't get level 6 fast enough, doesn't have enough items. But they're getting some towers.
They might actually push base now. There's a level 2 ultimate up on the Death Prophet. This is the strength of their lineup, right? We see it here. A lot of armor on them as well. On top of the Warcry from Sven, there's also Wild Ring Ripper.
Yeah, they decided the Wings they need to do something about. Defense for Wings, now coming back and forth for the buyback, where they want to commit. Getting burst down, but can't quite get the roar in there. To be one down in return. Wings holding on by mid-one, still with the exorcism up, pushing the side of Wings back and down the boot. Stand up and then they'll get another, but they will into the line in return. Mid-one, John turn and trying to continue to fight it. Can they bring it down in the space back? They'll get him, they'll get DJ as well. Wings hold the base, and they punish Fnatic incredibly heavily there. 4 deaths on the side of Fnatic did cost them the buyback on the Witch Doctor, but worth it every time to hold a base defense like that.
Oh, especially because you get the track kills as well. Great play by Ice on the Witch Doctor, coming in with a Maledict that hits really well, and then the Death Ward taking down the Enchantress. Their lineup has a specific problem with killing this Enchantress because of Untouchable, but Death Ward doesn't care about that.
I think they were like, oh man, they let us take 2 towers with exorcism. We're in a good spot. Let's do this. But they are not that strong. I still think this row should have been taken down by Fnatic much earlier, buying them some more time for Sven to actually get in the fight, get his Blink Dagger, get his BKB, so he can actually hit some targets.
It's worth mentioning that Ohio ran in past the tower, died without getting raw.
Yeah, we saw him. He was going for the cast animation on Spectre.
Yeah.
Died during it.
Doom cancelled it with the Infernal Blade, and then went down much faster than I think he expected to, because he does have 1100 HP.
Oh, now concentrating on the economic game, 3-4-3, placing 2 sentries around the Ancients, and managed to finally unblock that for the Sven.
Yeah, the next fight is probably going to break out at Roshan.
Did you feel that the Fnatic should be confident enough to go for Roche, or do they need to kind of wait for the Ghost so they can do it quicker? Or, you know, obviously Horn's down at the moment. Is this a window that you could use to go to it, or are you looking to find a kill first?
You're getting out-farmed way too hard by the PL with the BOTs and the Spectre.
Like yeah, but I question whether they can take the fight without the Ghosts. They probably can because of Sven as well. Like, when they find fight in a confined space, that is where God Strength really comes into play, and having that all that damage output, it's still way too much for both the Spectre and the Phantom Lancer to handle.
Like, Cask will own them to hit though, but I think they have to do it. They have the Ench and the Beastmaster. Those 2 heroes alone can take it out. It might take some time, but easy tanking a lot of damage with the Inner Beast.
Innocent on the bounty hunter picking up the mechanism now though, so that really will help them a lot in these 5-on-5s, because there is none on the side of Fnatic, and there's no outlook of having one.
It's
Nature's attendance, great suit.
going to be a blink done now on the Sven, as you guys suggested, so see in the next fight if Fnatic are able to jump on it and kind of get the big initiation. I mean, if you're looking at Wings lineup, if you're Fnatic, who are you ideally jumping on first at the start of the fight and taking down before they can get anything off?
Witch Doctor,
I think
actually.
Witch Doctor,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like taking him down. Almost all of their control is strictly through the coconuts, so...
Yeah, and no BKB on Sven, so like he's going to get kited really hard. Coconuts, and then you have the Diffusal Blade, like Spirit Lance and Spectral Dagger. Like all these spells are going to be very difficult, make it very difficult for him to maneuver around in team fights.
They are going to go for a top push again, it seems. I think regardless, any kill they will get off immediately. Like if they can blow one up and play a 4 versus 5, that'll benefit them greatly. It doesn't matter who they kill.
I can see at the bottom, TP backs coming in from the side here. They'll start to move in. They've got the detection finger coming out, but the Mega now the turnaround. Will actually find themselves one for one. Now trying to remove the illusions but line. He's going to get taken down by the Spectre. It's 2 for 1 trade at the moment. 10-4 hitting into mid one. It's going to be a third one for Wings. Very, very nice fight once again. We saw Fnatic trying to get themselves in position to hold. But at this point of the game, Wings are just finding themselves the easier team fights each and every time.
They're doing a really good job of controlling that ancient area, though. They've dropped wards, and then Bounty Hunter was like there, and got scattered out by the central ward. But everyone was there to back them up. The PL and the Witch Doctor were there to kill the Death Prophet, and then like everyone was there to just kill the Lion immediately.
Yeah, Wings is playing really, really well on all of their heroes, realizing what they need to do in order to create this chaos in the Fnatic lineup, and they've done so successfully throughout the entire game. Look at how farmed this PL actually is. He has the Fusion Blade, a Yasuo.
Gone straight for now, jumping in onto the face, trying to get the damage out back. Hex up as well, but he might actually just get himself away here, running, but the final drop from that brings him down. They will lose the line yet again, then looking to move in for more, trying to change the window, but the Diffusal Blade for the PL, holding them back and now Wings, turning back in, trying to fight him against the Sven. He's going to pull one of those, he's going to down. With a final touch, this fight through CJ's trying to return this fight. It's a 3 for 2 at the moment, but Ohio, he's going to lose his life as well. Mid one, the last man standing here for the side of Fnatic at the moment, and he might die as well. The PL moves in, they'll take themselves down another ultra kill for Blink on the PL. And is he going to get a rampage? They're going back in on DJ. Is he going to get it? He's going to try and find out. Rampage for the PL, 22 minutes into the game. And 8-1-8, I mean, this man, he's had an absolutely stunning performance this. And, I mean, we're seeing game 2, Wings hitting back insanely hard on Fnatic. It just seems they just don't know what to do and how to deal with this kind of play style. My goodness.
It's a bad time when you lose rack 22 minutes to the Spectre.
Against the lineup of Wings, it's a really hard time when... With this lineup, like, you would expect Fnatic to take down Rexes against Wings at this time. Wings probably went into this thinking, yeah, if we get a lead, maybe we can do this at 35 minutes or 45 minutes or even 65 minutes. But at 25 minutes, that's a dream scenario. And having a Rampage on the Phantom Lancer...
Yeah, he can actually deal with the Sven, and Sven is usually seen as a PL counter. And even like a slightly underfarmed Sven should be able to deal with him, but there's just too many things for him to deal with. Nuts.
So many illusions now. Double Manta style, double Diffusal Blade, even the Diffusal 2 on the PL.
I mean, spending that BKB so bad, but still quite a while away from it.
Ice with the Hand of Midas.
Yeah, I saw that after he fought back. He bought the Gloves of Haze. I was like, I think I know what that's gonna be.
Fnatic that has a double damage room quite handily.
This is how Ben plays support as well. He just picks up a Hand of Midas, runs around, farms the jungle. Nah, but Ice has been, or not Ice.
Ice.
Double Ice has been a great factor in this game. The Maledict, again in this fight, came off on the Sven, took so much HP off of him.
It's also just like a pretty good pick too. Like you have a lot of control over Sven before he gets his BKB, and it's a great counter towards the Enchantress, which they really had troubles with last game.
And then even though they don't really have lockdown or the specific disable control, because of track and then all the Diffusal Blades they have, there's nothing Sven can do. He's just getting kited, almost standing still.
Overall, though, this was just a severe lack of execution from Fnatic.
Oh yeah,
completely different in game 1 and game 2. I think Enchantress played really, really well, but the other components of the lineup.
We go wrong. The piano, he's trying to take me out with the finger as well. He's falling below, and they'll get him. That's the piano on the DJ has been doing those ghosts. Coming out, can they try and come out on top of this one? Bahio getting taken down by Shadow. He's just too strong at this point. Triple kill for the Doom. They'll look for mid one as well, and they'll get it. 4 down on the side of Fnatic. It'll be a buyback for the Spectre. Trying to tear this one around, but no, it's too much. The Spectre and the PL far too fast for the side of Fnatic to deal with. A GG is called. We're going to a game 3 here in this series. The Wings. I mean, that was a totally different Wings to what we saw in game 1. That was incredible play.
I think they executed really, really well. They knew exactly what they needed to do, as Ben pointed out. Spectre haunted the second he turned 6.
Yeah.
Doom was used constantly throughout the game. They just got so many kills when they really shouldn't have.
I feel like Fnatic didn't really utilize their first pick. It reminded me of eHome with the first pick Doom. It was just like you pick this hero and the lineup just doesn't feel like that hero isn't even in the